This is Alex Hinson, the Deputy Press Secretary at the Department of the Interior under Secretary Ryan Zinke. Alex Hinson is currently on leave from his department after he lost his government cell phone, used his personal cell phone for government business, and then his boss, Ryan Zinke, found out what he was actually doing the whole time. It turns out that Hinson has been leaking against his boss, Ryan Zinke, planting stories in the press, trying to get Ryan Zinke removed from office. Alex Hinson is also working with his friends to try to take down Scott Pruitt, the administrator of the EPA. The negative media campaign that you are seeing in the news is being driven by this young man. We have now learned exclusively that in August 2017, Alex Hinson, this young gentleman, was part of the Vice President Pence press advance team for the Vice President's trip to Montenegro. On that trip, Alex Hinson ordered a $500 prostitute, according to multiple advance staffers in the White House and across various departments and agencies who are aware of the situation. Alex Hinson was informed by the Vice President's office that he was getting benched and would no longer be going on the press advance trips after he purchased a $500 prostitute. However, he did come back in 2018 on the trip to Israel. But right now, because of the fact that he has been leaking against his boss, Ryan Zinke, and Scott Pruitt, Alex Hinson is now living with his parents in Arkansas. One can only imagine what Alex Hinson and the Hinson family are discussing sitting around their dinner table. Are they discussing Alex's $500 hooker in Montenegro? Are they discussing how Alex Hinson leaked against Scott Pruitt and also his boss, Ryan Zinke, and now is a leper in the administration? Are they discussing how Alex Hinson on his phone referred to the city of Tallahassee as Tallatrashy and then tried to blame his coworker Heather Swift for making fun of the city of Tallahassee? I mean, there are so many texts from this young man showing his conspiracy. There are so many witnesses who saw him drunk out and about on the town in Washington, D.C., talking about his conspiracy to try to bring down Scott Pruitt and Ryan Zinke, along with his friend, Kevin Chmielewski. Now let's talk about Kevin Chmielewski. Kevin Chmielewski works for the EPA. He was the advance man for Scott Pruitt, the EPA administrator. And he was also part of the Mike Pence advance team, along with Alex Hinson. Now, Kevin Chmielewski was fired from the administration because he likes to impersonate a police officer. What Kevin Chmielewski does is he drives around in traffic in Washington, D.C. in a fake police car with fake police lights and pretends to be a cop and runs red lights, presumably, as a cop. Impersonating a police officer is the reason that Kevin Chmielewski was fired from the administration. Now he's disgruntled, and he's trying to knock out his former boss, Scott Pruitt, by leaking negative story after negative story to the press. Kevin Chmielewski also had an affair with Howley Davis. Howley Davis, the beautiful contestant from American Idol, who sang the national anthem at all of the early President Donald Trump campaign rallies, until she was blocked from singing the national anthem at any more rallies because her boyfriend, Kevin Chmielewski, who was married at the time, blocked her out when she confronted Kevin about the status of their relationship and whether or not he was ever going to leave his wife. Howley Davis no longer got to sing the national anthem, and Trump supporters in the primaries no longer got to hear Howley Davis's beautiful rendition of the national anthem right before Donald Trump's speeches. These guys are in a whole lot of trouble. And Alex Hinson especially, with this situation with the $500 prostitute in Montenegro, this is a very big deal. And the vice president, very, very unhappy about this. And it's time to plug up the leaks and shut this conspiracy down. Now, here's the thing. The conspirators have a whole lot of friends in the mainstream press, including at The Atlantic. The Atlantic reporter Elena Plotz ran a totally bogus story saying that we were getting this information from somebody close to Pruitt named Michael Abood. So that person is also on their list. They want to take out everybody around Pruitt. They hate Pruitt. They want to take out Pruitt. Why? Why do they want to take out Scott Pruitt, and why do they want to take out Ryan Zinke? Because, as many insiders suspect, we now have $2 gas at the pump. Why do we have $2 gas at the pump? Because of natural gas drilling in the United States. The EPA is no longer regulating our natural drilling resources to death. We are able to be energy independent in this country due to the work of Ryan Zinke and Scott Pruitt, and that doesn't sit very well with people who run the Middle East oil trade. So Scott Pruitt and Ryan Zinke have a target on their head, and the press is using these jokers, this confederacy of dunces, to push their agenda of knocking out Scott Pruitt and Ryan Zinke and rolling back all of our domestic drilling in the United States. We're not going to let it happen. These jokers, these amateurs, these mid-level staffers, they obviously haven't met big league politics. Well, they're aware of us now. And I just want to say to Mr. and Mrs. Hinson, if you're watching down in Arkansas, you know, it's not necessarily your son's fault. He was around some bad characters, and you know, he got caught in the swamp, and you know, he has sinned. He's done some bad things, and I think that it's only fair that within your household he should be punished before his boss Ryan Zinke and the vice president punish him even further, because his cell phone is now subject to federal government review. Please keep reading BigLeaguePolitics.com.